What does a trusted business advisor do, and or what is their process? Well, part of the process is you interviewing them and them interviewing you. And if I'm doing the interview, one of the things I'm really going to be looking for is, are you committed to the process? Because if you're not committed, I can tell you it's not going to work. I'm laughing because I'm thinking of a situation. I was talking to this executive, and he was almost reclined in his chair as he was listening to me, because I was in the process of debriefing him on some information I'd gotten from interviewing people around him and some psychometrics and his biography. So I was debriefing him. I'd invested a lot of time in preparing, and he was half asleep. And I looked at him and I said, I'm really worked very hard to give you this information, and my impression is you're not paying attention. And he sort of looked at me and said, I'm paying attention. And I said, well, your body language is telling me you're not. And he said, well, this is the way I always listen. And I said, have any of your direct reports ever commented on the fact that you're sending a message you're not listening? He said, no, they've never commented on it. I said, well, does that tell you something about your relationship with your direct reports? That nobody's had the intestinal fortitude to tell you you're sending a message that is impacting them? Like, why should I even bother in preparing for you? Well, from that point on, the conversation was very rich. So I would be very concerned whether or not you're committed. In fact, I have sort of a quasi-contract, about 10 questions where you rank yourself. And one of the last ones is, you will take responsibility for your own change. I'm not going to change you. I can't change you. It's not my job. And if I were on the other side of the equation, I wouldn't want you forcing your changes on me. I want to discover who I am and what I need to do. I'll help you in that discovery. I'm really good. It's your journey, and you're entitled to learn for yourself. Another situation as far as a trusted advisor, they should have a process. My process is assessment, challenge, support. The assessment is a combination of a biography, 6 or 7 pages, questions you will probably not have thought of in years, and you'll get reacquainted with yourself. The other part of it is online assessments. So these are psychometrics where you'll get a self-evaluation. I'll give you feedback on it and interpret it for you. And the third one is the support. So the assessment process is a diagnostic. The challenge part is a development plan with specific goals, action steps, observable behavior, old behavior, new behavior, because I will be coaching people around you to give you feedback on the change or lack thereof. Then the last piece, and it's the most important piece, is support. You can't read a book, and even mine, and change or be transformed. You have to experience it through a period of time by ongoing conversations around coaching. You don't morph, and I don't morph, and we don't change without somebody coming alongside of us. I mean, think about it. The things we hunger for the most, we can't give ourselves. It has to come from an outside source. That's what the support does. And the support should last for 3 to 6 months, because it's going to take time. You do not change your way of thinking, therefore your behavior overnight. And that was a big clue. A lot of what we'll talk about is your attitude. What do you see leadership as? How do you think of it? So potentially, if you change your mindset, you'll change your results. Example, working with this individual, he's overwhelmed, he's got a new project, he's drowning with the learning curve, and he's talking to me in a way that he's, I wouldn't say whining, but he certainly wasn't positive. And I said, wait a minute. I look at you, and I don't know what your salary is, but I have a rough idea of what it is, and there are a bunch of zeros after it. And you're involved in a stretch assignment where you're learning lots of new skills. Those new skills are going to be transportable. Anywhere you go, anytime in your career, they're going with you. They don't stay with the company. So you're being paid to learn. So you have a scholarship. You're not paying. You're being paid to learn. Tell me what's wrong with that equation. That's a good example of how if you change your mindset, you can change your results. This process is enlightening. I hope you enjoy it.